My beloved, I am speaking to you now with intention, not to rush you, but to awaken you. The days you are living are not leftovers. They are not scraps from a table already cleared. They are chosen days, weighed days, numbered days that I have placed gently into your hands. I know you feel the years more clearly now. Your body reminds you that time has passed. Your memories return more often, sometimes uninvited. You look back and see roads traveled, mistakes made, victories won, and losses that still ache. But hear me carefully. I did not keep you alive simply to remember what was. I kept you here because what is still matters deeply to me. Do not live these days on autopilot. Do not wake up merely to pass another square off the calendar. Each morning you open your eyes, I have already gone ahead of you. I have purpose waiting in that day, even if it arrives quietly. I am not asking you to run. I am asking you to notice. Notice the moments I place before you. Notice the conversations that carry weight. Notice the thoughts that stir your spirit and the nudges that ask you to act with faith instead of fear. You are not too old to listen, and you are certainly not too old to obey. I know how easy it is to tell yourself that you have already done your part. I know how tempting it is to shrink your expectations and say, at this age I should not hope for much. But I did not design your faith to retire. Faith does not age the way the body does. Faith either grows or it withers, depending on whether you choose to use it. I am calling you to use it again. Take hold of it. Grip it with the strength you have gained through endurance. Do not store it away like something fragile. Faith is meant to be exercised, especially now. Time moves quickly, yes, but do not confuse speed with meaning. A short season lived with intention can outweigh decades lived distracted. I am not measuring your life by length alone. I am measuring it by alignment. Are your days aligned with trust? Are your thoughts aligned with hope? Are your actions aligned with love and obedience? You still have influence. You still carry authority in the spirit. You still shape the atmosphere of your home, your family, and even strangers you meet without realizing it. Do not underestimate what I can do through a willing heart at this stage of life. I want you to become deliberate again. When you wake up, do not rush past me. Speak to me. Invite me into the ordinary parts of your day. Ask me to show you where to step and when to pause. There are doors I am preparing to open for you, but you must stay alert to see them. Some doors will look small. Some will come disguised as interruptions. Some will arrive through people you did not expect. If you are distracted by regret or dulled by routine, you may walk right past what I placed there for your good. Do not let discouragement steal your attentiveness. I know you have prayed prayers that seemed unanswered. I know you have waited longer than you thought you would, but waiting has not disqualified you. It has refined you. I am not late and I am not indifferent. I am intentional. The patience you have learned was not wasted. The tears you shed were not ignored. They prepared your heart to recognize what truly matters now. Persist, even when your energy feels limited. Persistence does not always look loud. Sometimes it looks like choosing hope again after disappointment. Sometimes it looks like getting up and trusting me one more day. Sometimes it looks like speaking life over your family, even when circumstances argue otherwise. Do not stop trying. Do not decide that effort no longer matters. I honor perseverance, especially when it would be easier to give up. I am already moving in places you cannot reach. I am working in the hearts of the people you love. I am softening what once felt hard. I am arranging conversations, correcting paths, and restoring understanding. You do not need to control these things. You need to trust me with them. Your role is not to carry the outcome. Your role is to remain faithful in your posture and persistent in your prayers. Your home matters to me. Your peace matters to me. I am not blind to the tension you have felt or the imbalance that crept in quietly. I am working to restore harmony, step by step. Do not give up on peace. Do not normalize chaos. Speak calmly, act wisely, invite my presence daily. Where I am welcomed, order follows. Your finances have not escaped my attention. I know the worries that surface late at night. I know the calculations you repeat in your mind. I am not asking you to be reckless, but I am asking you to trust that I am still your provider. I am teaching you to steward with wisdom and to release fear. I am healing what has been strained, and I am opening paths you could not create on your own. Above all, I am speaking to you each day because your soul still needs nourishment. Wisdom does not end with age, it deepens. Stay close to my word. Let it shape your thoughts and steady your emotions. Let it remind you that you are still called, still seen, still guided. Do not let these remaining days pass unnoticed. Walk through them awake, trusting me, and you will see that I have saved some of my most meaningful work for now. My beloved, come closer and listen to me with a heart that is open and unguarded. I know that over the years, you learned how to protect yourself by lowering your expectations. You told yourself it was wisdom, but often it was weariness. You learned how to tuck dreams away so they would not hurt you if they were delayed again. You learned how to pray carefully, quietly, without asking for too much. But I am calling you now to reverse that habit. I am asking you to place your dreams and your prayers back into my hands, not as fragile things you are embarrassed to mention, but as sacred offerings that still matter to me. I never asked you to stop dreaming. I never told you that hope has an expiration date. It was disappointment that whispered that lie, not my voice. When prayers seemed unanswered, when waiting stretched longer than you expected, you assumed silence meant refusal. But silence is not absence, and delay is not denial. Many of the things you stopped praying for are still alive in my care. They did not fade because time passed. They only went quiet because you stopped speaking them aloud. I want you to remember again. Sit with me and recall the prayers you once prayed with tears in your eyes and fire in your heart. Remember the desires you carried when your faith felt strong and your expectations were high. Do not judge yourself for setting them aside. I know why you did it. You were trying to survive, but now I am asking you to trust me with them again. Write them down. Not because I need reminders, but because you need to see that you still believe, even if belief feels quieter now. When you place something into my hands, you release yourself from the burden of controlling how it will unfold. You are not responsible for the timing. You are not responsible for the outcome. You are responsible for trust. I am asking you to hand me every unfinished prayer, every half-formed hope, every desire you thought was no longer appropriate for someone your age. I do not measure worth by age. I measure it by surrender. Some of your prayers are not selfish, even if you were told they were. Wanting peace in your home is not selfish. Wanting healing in your body is not selfish. Wanting restoration in relationships is not selfish. Wanting provision and stability is not a lack of faith. These desires reflect your dependence on me, and dependence honors me. I am not offended by your needs. I am moved by them. I know you worry about being disappointed again. I know you fear reopening a door you struggled to close. But hear me carefully. A closed heart is far more dangerous than a disappointed one. When you stop hoping, you stop engaging with life. When you stop praying, you stop listening. I am not asking you to demand outcomes. I am asking you to trust my character. Place your prayers in my hands and let me carry the weight you were never meant to hold. There are prayers you prayed long ago that I am still shaping behind the scenes. You do not see the movement because you are focused on the surface, but deep roots grow quietly. Change often begins invisibly. What you thought was lost was actually being prepared. Trust me enough to bring it back into the light. I also want you to release the prayers that no longer serve your peace. Some prayers were born out of fear, not faith. Some desires came from comparison, not calling. I am not asking you to cling to everything. I am asking you to place everything in my hands and allow me to sort what remains. When you trust me with your dreams, I refine them. I align them. I replace what no longer fits with what will bring life. Do not be ashamed of wanting more joy. Do not feel guilty for asking for clarity. Do not minimize your needs because you think others have it worse. I see you as an individual, not a statistic. Your prayers matter because you matter. Speak to me honestly. Speak to me consistently. Speak to me as one who knows they are heard. I am not tired of listening to you. I am not frustrated by repetition. Every time you bring your heart to me, you strengthen the relationship between us. Prayer is not a transaction. It is a connection. When you place your dreams and prayers back into my hands, you are choosing relationship over resignation. I will guide you as you trust me again. I will give you peace where uncertainty once ruled. I will give you wisdom where confusion lingered. I will teach you how to wait without anxiety and how to hope without fear. This season is not about chasing. It is about surrendering with confidence. Place your dreams in my hands. Place your prayers in my care. Let me show you what I can still do with a heart that chooses to trust me again. My beloved, I want you to understand something clearly and without confusion. There are things I have asked you to carry, and there are things I never intended for your hands. Over the years, you learned to manage, to fix, to hold together what felt like it would fall apart if you loosened your grip. That strength helped you survive, but now it is time for a shift. I am calling you to keep walking forward while I change what you cannot. You are not stepping away from responsibility. You are stepping into trust. I know how heavy it feels when progress seems slow and answers seem distant. I know how discouragement whispers that your efforts no longer matter. But hear me carefully. Forward movement is not measured by speed. It is measured by obedience. Every time you choose to rise instead of retreat, to trust instead of worry, to walk instead of freeze, you are moving forward with me. Even small steps taken in faith carry great weight in the spirit. There are battles you were never meant to fight. There are outcomes you cannot force. There are hearts you cannot change, systems you cannot control, and timelines you cannot accelerate. Exhaustion came because you tried to do what only I can do. I am not rebuking you for that. I am inviting you to rest from it. While you walk in obedience, I work in authority. While you remain faithful in your daily steps, I move powerfully in places you cannot reach. Keep walking, even when clarity feels incomplete. You do not need to see the whole path to take the next step. I reveal direction gradually because trust grows in stages. If I showed you everything at once, fear would overwhelm you. I guide you one day at a time so your faith remains active and alive. When you wake each morning and choose to walk with me, you are cooperating with my process. I am working in the lives of the people you love, even when you feel powerless to help them. I know how deeply you care. I know how often you replay conversations in your mind, wishing you had said something differently or done more. Release that burden. Speak truth when I lead you. Pray faithfully, and then let me do what only I can do. I am speaking to hearts in ways you cannot hear. I am arranging encounters you cannot orchestrate. I am healing wounds that have resisted human effort. Do not allow worry to convince you that nothing is happening. Silence does not mean stagnation. Stillness does not mean inactivity. Some of my greatest work happens quietly. Roots grow underground before fruit appears above the surface. Trust the process, even when you cannot measure it. Your responsibility is to remain engaged, not anxious. Continue loving, continue praying, continue showing up with integrity, continue choosing peace over bitterness. These actions keep you moving forward. They align your heart with mine. While you do what I have asked, I will handle what overwhelms you. I am also addressing the areas of your life that have caused you the most concern. I see the strain, the imbalance, the fear that creeps in when you think about the future. I am not asking you to pretend these concerns do not exist. I am asking you not to let them rule you. Walk forward in wisdom, but leave fear behind. Fear paralyzes. Faith mobilizes. You do not need to fix your entire future today. You only need to trust me with it. When you choose obedience over panic, you create space for my intervention. I step into surrendered places. I move where I am trusted. I act where control is released. Some days, walking forward will feel courageous. Other days, it will feel ordinary. Do not underestimate ordinary obedience. Consistency matters more than intensity. Faithfulness matters more than perfection. You are not required to be strong every moment. You are required to keep walking. I know you sometimes feel unseen in your effort. I know you wonder if anyone notices your quiet endurance. I notice. I see every step you take when no one applauds. I see every choice you make to remain kind, patient, and hopeful. Nothing you do in faith is wasted. Every step compounds into purpose. I am rearranging circumstances as you move. I am opening doors you could not unlock. I am closing paths that would lead you away from peace. Trust me enough not to resist the changes I am making. Some adjustments may feel uncomfortable at first, but they are necessary for what lies ahead. Do not look back with regret. Do not look around with comparison. Keep your eyes forward and your heart steady. I am with you in this season. I am guiding you deliberately. Walk with me and let me carry what you cannot. My beloved, listen to me with discernment, because this instruction will guard your heart in ways you do not yet fully understand. As the years have passed, your circle has grown smaller, and that is not a loss. It is a refinement. I am teaching you that proximity matters. Who you allow near your spirit now will either strengthen your peace or slowly erode it. This is why I am asking you to surround yourself with those who reflect my peace and my truth, not merely with those who fill space or pass time. You are more sensitive now than you were before, not weaker. Your spirit recognizes discord more quickly. Your heart feels unrest more deeply. Do not ignore that awareness. It is wisdom earned through years of living. I did not give it to you so you would tolerate noise, gossip, bitterness, or dishonesty. I gave it to you so you would protect the calm I have worked so carefully to restore in you. Not everyone who has known you deserves continued access to you. Some people were meant for a season, not a lifetime. Release them without resentment. You do not need to explain every boundary. You do not need to justify your peace. When someone consistently pulls you toward fear, anger, or confusion, they are not walking in alignment with me, no matter how familiar they feel. Familiarity is not the same as safety. I am calling you to walk with people who speak life, not poison. People who guard their words, who refuse to twist truth, who are not entertained by slander. Listen carefully to how people speak when no one is correcting them. Words reveal the heart. Those who honor truth in private will honor you in public. Those who speak with integrity create an atmosphere where my presence rests easily. Seek companionship with those who reflect my peace. Peace is not silence or avoidance. Peace is steadiness. Peace does not panic. Peace does not manipulate. Peace listens before reacting. When you are around people who carry my peace, your own spirit settles, your breathing slows, your thoughts become clearer. That is not coincidence. That is alignment. Do not isolate yourself, but be selective. Loneliness can tempt you to accept connections that drain you. Resist that temptation. I would rather you have fewer relationships that are nourishing than many that leave you unsettled. Quality matters more than quantity now. The people walking beside you should make it easier to trust me, not harder. I am also calling you to gather with those who are not ashamed of my name, who honor me not only with words but with their lives. Where hearts gather in my name, my presence is not distant. It is active, it is healing, it is stabilizing. When you pray together, when you speak honestly together, when you encourage one another in faith, I am there, strengthening what has grown tired and renewing what has grown weary. You may think it is too late to build new connections, but I tell you this clearly. I am still arranging divine relationships for you. Age does not limit my ability to bring the right people into your life. I connect hearts at the right time, not the early time. Be open. Be kind. Be discerning. I will show you who belongs in this season. I also want you to examine the voices you allow into your daily life. Not every voice comes through a person sitting across from you. Some come through media, conversations you overhear, habits you have tolerated for years. If something consistently disturbs your spirit, it does not belong. You have the authority to choose what you consume. Guard your mind as carefully as you guard your body. Your home should reflect my peace. Your conversations should reflect my truth. Your relationships should reflect my goodness. This does not mean perfection, it means direction. When you align your environment with me, healing accelerates. Joy returns more easily. Fear loses its grip. I know there were times when you stayed silent to keep the peace. I know there were moments when you tolerated dishonesty to avoid conflict. Those days are ending. Peace does not require you to abandon truth. Peace and truth walk together. I will give you the wisdom to speak gently and the courage to stand firm. You do not need to argue. You only need to remain anchored. Let me be clear. You are not meant to walk alone, but you are also not meant to walk with everyone. Ask me to guide your connections. Ask me to reveal who strengthens you and who drains you. I will answer. I am invested in your well-being. As you surround yourself with those who reflect my peace and truth, you will notice something changing within you. Your faith will feel steadier. Your joy will feel more natural. Your days will feel lighter. This is not because your problems disappeared. It is because you are no longer carrying them in the wrong company. Stay close to those who remind you who you are in me. Walk with those who encourage your obedience, your hope, and your trust. In this season of your life, companionship is not about filling time. It is about guarding purpose. Listen to me. Obey this instruction. Choose wisely. Walk carefully. And you will find that peace is no longer something you chase, but something that walks with you every day.